It's a Tuesday, that means Black Ops 4 ended up getting another update here today, and we're gonna break down everything that changed as we normally do. So sit back, relax, we're gonna jump into all the changes and let you know everything you need to about what you can expect if you jump onto Black Ops 4 for the first time as of today. Now, Treyarch ended up putting out their patch notes surprisingly close to when their update went live. I can leave the link down there in the description below for you guys to check that out in their full entirety. They're usually out a little bit later in the evening, but we ended up getting a little bit of a recap of CWL champs, how we ended up seeing the E United won that tournament. We saw that Optic Gaming and 100 Thieves took second and third place as well. Gave a little bit of a recap on the CWL season, then they jumped into the actual changes, to which we see some changes that are more minuscule across the board for PlayStation 4 as well as Xbox One and PC. The biggest thing that is interactable here with you guys on this update this week is that of the new playlist refreshes coming to Black Ops 4. So starting off on the leadoff side, we actually have the introduction of Party Game Mosh Pit. That's something that was on the roadmap for Black Ops 4's Operation Apocalypse Z. From the very beginning, we didn't see that really introduced or talked about even in the slightest up until, well, today when it was introduced. Now this is going to be a little compilation of all your favorite party games all in one mosh pit. So you queue up for one, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. There's on a basic standpoint of speaking, 20% chance that you can get one or the other, because this playlist includes Gun Game, One in the Chamber, Infected, Sticks and Stones, and Prop Hunt. In their words, no matter which party game you love the most, we've got you covered. And if you haven't had a chance to jump into Gun Game or One in the Chamber before today, now's the time to party up with some friends and get wild. Now the modes will support 10 to 12 players, so you can party up with your friends. To my knowledge, you can jump in and take advantage of some of the game modes up on deck that have been around for limited time modes, but that may not have come back all that much. So again, I'm excited to jump into maybe Gun Game. One in the Chamber was a lot of fun. Sticks and Stones I was all right with. Admittedly, I kind of burned myself out on that because I've played it so much. Prop Hunt don't really care all that much for personally, and then Infected, of course, is always fun. I did like Infected Final Stand though, so I'm kind of sad to see that go away. But along with that, we also end up seeing that the rest of the featured playlists across, again, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC have been adjusted as well. On the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One side, we end up having featured this week Party Game Mosh Pit. Deathmatch Domination makes its return, which again is that combination of Team Deathmatch and Domination where even your kills in Domination count towards your score. That's a lot of fun. Gonna have to jump on and play that one. I think that's probably one of my favorite LTMs that we've seen so far. We have Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit, Barebones Mosh Pit, and Bolt Action Barebones Mosh Pit as well on the console front. For PC, we end up seeing that because of the limited playlist, there's a lesser number here at this, but we have Party Game Mosh Pit on there as well, Deathmatch Domination, and then Endurance Chaos Mosh Pit on PC for the MP side. And for you MP guys, that's kind of everything that changed here. There's not really all that much. We'll talk about the lack of maybe some weapon adjustments in just a second, but that's really it in terms of what's actually interactable. On the Blackout side, there's stuff that follows the same similar pattern, but not all that much again, just kind of featured playlist updates and changes. For PlayStation 4, we have the reintroduction of Hot Pursuit, so that is a lot of fun to play around with, and it is on the current map that we have for regular solos, duos, and quads. It is that still kind of nighttime, ghoulish looking map. I still think that this map would have been great around Halloween. I don't know why we didn't have this sort of freaky and undead style for that. I think that would have been a perfect plan with that, but I guess it would have taken away from the launch of Blackout and what we'd see as the baseline for the game. But regardless, Hot Pursuit is live again. You can end up playing with that and of course the cops and robbers mentality. You end up getting the police vehicles having the sensor darts built in with the sirens automatically on. You can see stashes with the hot rods and things like that. So jump in. It's honestly, I think, still one of the better game modes that we've had in Blackout. It's a lot of fun. As for Xbox One, we end up seeing the featured game modes here are Pandemic, Alcatraz, Duos, Quads, and Solos. Don't know why I said those out of order. So pretty much what PlayStation 4 had last week. And on PC, we have Pandemic, Alcatraz, as well as Solos this time around for the feature playlist there. Now, outside of Blackout and MP changes, nothing on zombies, unfortunately, nothing in League play, naturally. And then the only other things that have been changed out are that of the shop updates, which I know I don't like talking about, but just to be thorough, just because that's literally the only other stuff that changed here at this, PlayStation 4 ended up getting another 3 items added into the shop here at this, which surprisingly surprisingly isn't as many COD points total as what we saw the last 2 weeks. Both weeks previously eclipsed that 5,000 COD point mark. This time around, though, we only have 4,500 COD points on the total for the week, so a little less and maybe a step in the right direction, but not really. We'll talk about that in a second. With this, we firstly ended up seeing that we have the ABR 223 Mark II. That comes along with 8 reserve crates, only the standard crates, no dupe protected ones here at this one, and that's going to cost you 2,000 COD points. Personally, I think the ABR looks really cool, but the price point we'll talk about, it doesn't make as much sense to me with this one, so if you want to get it, feel free to. Again, I truly don't care anymore. I'm done with a lot of stuff in this game. Then we end up seeing we have the unprepared Nomad outfit, so the other zombie outfit that we had here for Apocalypse Z. That is for Nomad, and it comes with the outfit plus 6 dupe protected reserve crates, and that is 1,800 COD points. And then we have a new special order of the Afterglow, that coming with the uniform, sticker, bow emote, and the weapon camo, all for 700 COD points. Our cheapest of the special orders so far in this operation, and to my knowledge, one of the cheaper ones that we've seen even since the shop overhaul that we saw with Operation Grand Heist. All the way back to then and beforehand, this is the first time we've seen something that cheap for a special order. So interesting with that. The weapon camo that comes along with this one is just a static weapon camo. It's not reactive. It's not a mastercraft. It's just something that stays the same no matter how many kills you end up getting with it. And if you guys know the Watermelon Twitch Prime camo, it's, to me, near identical. It's not, it does have some minimal differences, but it's kind of like the Watermelon Twitch Prime camo, but with just different colors. So that's something that, keep that in mind if you're considering it. It's very identical to another one, but this shop update also does pose the question of what's the pricing mentality with this kind of stuff, because I really don't know how these things work here, because the ABR and the KN both offered a Mark II and crates for the same price point, but the KN had more crates than the ABR. So you're getting, in terms of that, a lesser value, if you can even consider there to be any, with this bundle introduced today than nearly the exact same bundle introduced a few weeks back with the KN Mark II. The consistency doesn't really seem to be there, and it seems like it's just kind of further pulling out that dollar limit to hike it up ever so slightly. I don't really understand why it's done like this, but that's what it is here at this, and so therefore, I'm not as keen on looking into purchasing the ABR 223 from a personal perspective, just because you're literally getting less for the same price point as what we've seen previously. But anyways, to be thorough, here's the other side of the coin as well for the other two platforms, Xbox One and PC. Their shop update refresh today consisted of the full stop melee weapon for 1,500 COD points, which comes with 5 dupe protected crates, an emote, and a melee. The astronaut bundle for Firebreak, that's 2,400 COD points. That's a uniform with 10 dupe protected crates. And then Bus Driver Ted is that special order, the Blackout character. You end up getting him, an emote, sticker, and 4 reserve crates for 1,000 COD points. Now, the curious part is that out of all of this, out of the patch notes, the limited stuff there is here at this, there is no mention of any weapon adjustments, and probably the big one that a lot of people are looking towards is that of if there's going to be a Reaver adjustment coming at all. There was, as of last week with title update 1.23, an adjustment made to the Stingray and the Reaver ever so slightly. The Stingray was kind of the bigger one up on deck. It totally nerfed that thing to all hell and back. I haven't really jumped on to play to test it out all that much, but the community has still been pretty vocal about the Reaver needing some more tuning. Totally honest, I haven't jumped on to play MP since at least last week's update. Little secret, I don't really care for MP anymore. I probably won't touch it the rest of the year outside of maybe a game or two to get some B-roll footage if a new mode is introduced, if there's a new specialist, and so on and so forth. So I can't really confirm nor deny that the Reaver is still OP, but that's all I see from people that are still grinding out the game and still playing it religiously. I'm just seeing that the Reaver is making it something so just unfun to play. And having gone up against people in the past with the Reaver that's all they do, it is totally just an annoyance beyond belief. So, and that's something that's overrunning lobbies. I can totally understand that, but I'm wondering if we'll get any sort of smaller weapon tuning adjustment from here on out until at least the next operation. If we will see an adjustment made to that Reaver at all, because we may still need another title update before Operation 6 and the final operation here within Black Ops 4. We don't know just yet if we will. So the May is a big May, but we don't know if Jungle Flooded is in this current build of Black Ops 4 right now. So that means that if it's not, we're going to need another title update to introduce that map and to fulfill what's probably going to be the final thing added in from that roadmap of Operation 5 and Apocalypse Z that we still haven't seen. I don't think that we've had anything data mined from the current patch, so we could already have it in there, and that's why I say it may require another title update. But if there's another title update coming in the near future, that could be a time when you also throw in some Reaver adjustments and some weapon tuning there, because you do have to adjust the base variations of the weapon and not necessarily just something you can change on the fly with, say, a hotfix or a playlist update. So there's a few variables to consider here with when we may see that, if we see a Reaver adjustment at all. But again, that's entirely hypothetical. We don't have any idea if that's actually going to happen. I would kind of hope so, because I do see a ton of Reaver clips and I'm like, that really shouldn't be a thing. But as for right now, there was nothing mentioned here on the end of Treyarch. There was nothing that hinted at something coming just yet, but maybe. That said, that's where we're going to wrap it up. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. That's everything that changed here. Again, a kind of more minuscule update here for this. I'm not expecting all that much for the rest of the operation. It's kind of winding down, and Black Ops 4 is going gentle into that good night as we start to transition into the time for Modern Warfare to kick off and launch in just a short period of time. A little over 2 months now at this point. But that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is there anything in particular that you're maybe happy changed? Maybe you were hoping for a little bit more of? Whatever it may be, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But that said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 4, all things Modern Warfare as we transition over again into later this fall whenever all things pick up for that and anything Call of Duty related. If you're interested in any of it, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best place to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, the link is down there in the description below. But let's end out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.